Hey guys, so I haven't had a chance to post anything lately because I've just, I guess Teddy is going to join the video. So I haven't really had a chance to update on anything just because of the fact that I've been kind of grieving the last few weeks about our miscarriage that we had, and just kind of the whole process in general. It's just been really weighing on my heart and mind lately. But I do have some updates and what we're going to do moving forward. So we had the miscarriage, chemical pregnancy, after our last donor cycle, and went back, got some blood work done to make sure all my levels are back to normal. They were. Had a consult with our doctor. He spoke to me about doing an ERA. So this cycle that I'm currently on is just a mock cycle. So I am taking the estrogen 3 times a day. I started the PIO shots on August 8th, taking those every night. And we're going to do the test on Monday. So when I spoke to my doctor at my consult, he just said that maybe it was an embryo issue, maybe it was a timing issue with chemicals. It's just really hard to really determine what happened because I'm so closely monitored. If this would happen naturally, I would have probably never known. I would have been a few days late for my cycle. It would have started, and I would have just thought I was just late. So I left there feeling really well, really good about everything that was going on, and I was glad that he had a plan, because my worst fear was that I would get there and he would say, oh, it was a chemical, probably genetic, let's just move on to the next transfer. And I was so worried about that because I am not one to keep doing the same thing over and over if it did not work the first time. So left the appointment, felt really good. He told me to call on the first day of my cycle so that we can get a bloodline and ultrasound. Got that done, and I had a cyst. Blood work showed that it was fine. But during that appointment, I guess, let me backtrack. From the time that I had the consult to my first day of my cycle, I constantly kept thinking about the blood work panel for miscarriages. Being adopted myself, I just don't know a whole lot about myself. I don't know, and I'm learning a lot more as the time goes on as far as my reproductive health and my health goes. So I was just constantly, it was just never leaving my mind. I always was thinking about it, and I got onto my support group on Facebook, and I asked them, I was like, do you think it would be too forward of me to mention it to my doctor that I would really like to try that, because do the blood test, because this is our last go around. I mean, if I'm going to be honest, we just financially don't have the means to be doing cycle after cycle after cycle after cycle. So these last 2 babies are our last hope, really. And I just want to give them the best shot that I possibly can. So if that means taking another blood test to be able to prevent a miscarriage down the road, then I definitely want to do that. So when I went in for my bloodline, or my baseline ultrasound and my blood work, I had my favorite nurse, Brooke, there, and I just sat her down and was like, listen, do you think you can speak to Dr. Will about my situation? We have 2 embryos. He said depending on what the ERA says, we could transfer both. We could transfer the one and then have another transfer, but I told her financially we're just kind of maxed out at this point right now. We've just used up all of our savings and then put some on credit cards, and so I want to make sure that we give this the best shot possible. And she said, yeah, absolutely, I'll talk to him. So she did. The clinic called me back and said that at my next appointment for an ultrasound, he would let me do the blood work then. So we did the blood work, and I just got the call on Friday that I came back positive for a one of my tests came back positive with it's like a blood clotting disorder. So he is suggesting in my next cycle that we use a blood thinner in my protocol along with some baby aspirin. So I felt relief at that, but I also felt very sad because it's just like one thing after another. Just a lot of things that I don't know about my body on the inside, and it just keeps surprising me. Every test keeps coming back showing something else. So it's been really hard. You know, I keep going back and forth in my mind, and I feel like some worry going into this next cycle, but I also feel some peace knowing that we're doing the ERA, we did the blood work, we're going to have a new protocol, and we are giving these babies the best chance that we possibly can. And if it does not work, then at least I know, my husband and I know, that we did everything we possibly could to make this work. So Monday is my ERA. I'm not sure the timeline on when I will get that back, but I will obviously do an update then to let you know how that went. My cycle is due to start in a couple weeks, so I'll start the medication again, estrace 3 times daily, eventually bring in the PIO shots, and then hopefully we'll do the transfer in September. It's unclear yet on whether we are going to transfer 1 or 2 embryos. It depends on what the test says, and kind of some praying and discussion with my husband and I. But I just don't know what to even say. I'm just like, I've been having a hard time, like I said, with the miscarriage that we had, and just feeling a little bit like I don't want to waste these little lives. And so I'm just putting my faith into God, and that He is guiding my doctor to make the best decision possible for my husband and I, and that hopefully one or both of these babies get to make it into our lives, and that we finally get to become parents. So Monday's the ERA. I'll keep you posted on that. But for now, we just continue with PIO and testing, and hopefully we get some answers so that we can have a successful transfer next time around. Thanks for watching. See you guys. So it's been a few days, well, a few weeks since I really updated you guys, but our transfer is scheduled for the end of this week, and I've been feeling really good about it. We've been taking progesterone and oil. I am now taking it at 3:30 in the morning, based on my ERA that came back showing that I was pre-receptive for when we did our last transfer. So I'm taking the progesterone earlier, and I've been taking the blood thinners every morning at 7. I'll just show you guys. I'll have to put a picture in here of the bruising that it's leaving. Other than the bruising, there really hasn't been any issues with it. I'm not, because I know they had said or warned me about bleeding or excess bleeding. I could see it. I mean, I haven't like cut myself or anything, but I was just expecting like just in general, just like light bleeding after taking the needle out, and I have not noticed that. Let's see what else has been new. It's been like once you get started, you just don't, there's no like pause button or slow down. You just go, go, go. They're supposed to call me, today is Wednesday, or tomorrow, Thursday, about the, when I'll be going and getting my, the actual time is. We have the date, we're just not sure of the time. So I've taken the day off because our clinic transfers at their main facility, which is 3 hours away from us. So yeah, we won't be going to work. And then in 10 days, my blood work is scheduled, and I also took that day off. I just can't help but feel anxious and nervous. Like, I feel so good going into this because, you know, last time we did get to see two lines, meaning positive pregnancy test, but it just didn't stick around. And I can't help but think that maybe that had partially to do with the timing of when we transferred, and then also potentially maybe my blood clotting disorder. So now that we have the blood thinner in there and the baby aspirin, and I started taking my PIO shots earlier, which I'm hoping that that is the answer to this. And I know that it necessarily might not be. Maybe it's an embryo quality, but I'm not even focusing on that because that just stresses me out in itself. But based on our donor, it should not be an embryo quality, and based on my husband's swimmers, it should not be an issue either. So we're just feeling really anxious about it. We've just been doing some things to keep us busy. So last weekend we had another garage sale to help with the cost of this next cycle. A dear sweet friend of mine reached out to me. I went to school with her. She's got two incredibly cute little boys, and they are overseas. But she reached out to me because she's a Scentsy representative, and if you haven't heard of Scentsy, you guys should really check them out. They have like the best smells out there, and they last a lot. They're like those wax cubes, but they last a lot longer than what you find at the store. It's a really great brand. But she has reached out to me and wants to do a fundraiser since she's new to all of this herself. She just started being the Scentsy representative. Always been a customer, never a representative. So she reached out to me, and we are going to do a little fundraiser next week. They're car air fresheners, and you get a 6-month value for $20. So there's like six different scents you can pick from to create your package of 6, and each one lasts a month. So I think it's a really great deal because I know that like these little cheapy ones that I buy at like Walmart does not last me a month. I mean, maybe a week or two. So I'm really excited about that. And then she also said that depending on how that turns out, she'll do a party for me as well, which makes me even more excited because I'm ready to start burning those fall scents in my house. So yeah, that's just kind of what we've been doing. Again, our friends and family have been amazing through all of this. We've had 3 different garage sales and a bake sale. We've had trying to think, we had a t-shirt fundraiser, and we also had a 31 party that we made some commission off of. Which reminds me, the sweet girl that is doing the Scentsy party, she didn't have to, but she's giving us 100% of the proceeds from this, and including her commission. So it's just incredible. I was so nervous and scared to share our story because I didn't want people, I don't know why, but I didn't want people to think that I was looking for handouts or that I was wanting a pity party or anything like that. It just was the fact that I just felt so alone. You know, I tried to confide in my friends, and they were great, don't get me wrong, they always listened to me and tried to help, but they were having kids of their own, no problems. They were moving on, we were moving on to our second round of IVF. They were moving on to their second child. So as much as they wanted to understand, they couldn't, and I feel like sometimes maybe I took that frustration out on them. So I just want to encourage you guys that if you're going through this, don't feel ashamed or alone like I did for a long time, and just realize that there are so many good people out there that are parents, and they understand how rewarding and wonderful it is, and they totally get why you would want the same thing. So it's just been a blessing in disguise to share this and be going through this. Our family's been wonderful. Our friends have been wonderful. People we don't even know have been wonderful. So I'm just excited to get this going, and hopefully we'll get 1 or 2 take-home babies from this. So I'm really excited, and yeah, I just can't get the smile off my face. I'm ready to get this. I'm ready to do this. So I hope that you guys are ready for this, and I'm just asking for prayers for me to stay calm in the 2-week wait, for my husband to stay calm in the 2-week wait, and for us to finally get our big fat positive that will be ending in a take-home baby. And just pray for all the staff that's going to be involved in this, and I'm just so excited. So that's our update for now. I'll probably post a little video of the actual transfer, and I want to do like kind of a video of what I'm doing for the 2-week wait to kind of keep my mind off of everything.